No, I think when you look at from a spectator's point of view, the crowd that has come in has been very disappointing. I think also from our camp being 1-0 down in the series, one again some momentum, and it's something that you can't control. I don't think both teams, I think as far as frustration is concerned, we're feeling it, but there's nothing that we can control as a team. And we'll take it one at a time and then take it from there.
Just a question about your T20 cricket. Can you just give us some insight as to why the reasons were?
Oh, I think for us, there's a couple of youngsters we want to have a look at, and we know what we have in our team. I think those players that has been showing the growth, the opportunity has been given to youngsters that have been taken with the hands. But a couple of games that we had throughout the series, last two series that we had at home, the cricketers have put up their hand, and then when it came to this tour, selectors wanted to have a look at some of the other players and to make sure that when we go to World Cup, we have a bigger pool of players to pick from, and we can get the balance right as far as our attack going forward, because we know going to Australia, the World Cup is going to be here. And it's for a youngster now to see who's there in the squad and to put up their hand, because our squad will become very competitive.
We can't control as a team, but yeah, I think we all wish for game time, especially with the World Cup preparations. And obviously being 1-0 down in the series, we also would like to, get a chance to remain ourselves and to get game time going. And also, for the crowd, they just keep on getting bigger and bigger every game. So I think it's more disappointing for them at the moment.
Relocate or reschedule games, ignoring the logistical problems, would you mind playing in any situation than spending time in the dressing room?
I don't think when boards set series and venues and everything there, the last thing you think about is rain. I think it's when you look at the crowd that came in, and the rain was not there, it would have been a superb series. The support was great. I think it's one thing that you can't control. As far as teams who would like to play, because that window regarding building up to the World Cup is getting closer, and getting for some players that need to put up the performance, it's also getting closer opportunity. So it is frustrating as far as both teams are concerned. I want to believe, but yes, everybody would like to play, but you can always have it your way in sport. Life happens. I think today it's nothing that anyone could have seen that it can happen. It's very difficult to answer the question that might. Also youngsters coming in. So South African team, and they need to understand what it takes to play at this level. What is the do's and don'ts? What is it that we stand for the country? What is it expected when you play for your country? And the kind of behavior that you also want, because at the end of the day, you're ambassador for your country. So we just want people to help us assess in building that towards, so the players and youngsters coming into the space understand the quality that is needed in there. If you not, then how can we help you to become there? Because at the end of the day, the pressures that you deal with every day as a cricketer, being an ambassador for the country is very difficult. So those kind of the culture thing that we're working towards is to make sure that everybody understands that when we get set up, what is it that is required as a team, and what needs to happen when you become a teammate, and what is required from a team's perspective. The culture for us as a country, because it's so diverse, there's such a lot of cultures coming together, so it is something that we constantly need to work on as a country to make sure that we keep improving, to make sure that we stay in the environment they play.
We are more hashtag is something we came up as a team. We, as women in South Africa, we wanted to do more. We wanted to stand out a bit, and I think the hashtag we are more just kind of speaks for itself. We wanted to be more than just someone's child or someone's mother or something like that. We wanted to stand out, and I think the we are more just gives us a more broad perspective of who we are as people and who we are as a team. Tough one when you keep sitting around the whole time. I think we've been going to practice, and I think we just need to switch the practice days and the match days around. But the energies are still up there in the change room. I think Azali is doing a great job of bringing her cards to the change room and keeping everybody awake and excited. But Joanna, I think definitely we have another training session tomorrow, and everybody still knows there is a job to be done. We still come to the ground wanting to play and are more than willing to play. So I think the energies are still up there. We haven't really done anything besides practice a few days, so there's no real reason to be tired.
It's a good platform to try our various combinations, try and give a game to everybody in the squad and get some match time. That if you're going to be denied those opportunities by the weather gods, there's nothing much you can do about it. I don't know how that protocol works, but thought will be given into that line of thought will be pursued. There will be obviously some discussions and see how it plans out, because there's no saying, son, if you, it's a tricky thing. If you try and change the venue and then sun starts beating down in the next 1 week, everybody is going to have eggs on their faces. So it's a very tricky thing, and it's not that it's not thought of. That's also in probably in the process. We'll see how it goes, and we'll take things as they come as of now. The important thing in this series was to try and get a settled batting unit. That was the first objective, and try and see if that happened as to how we rotate the bowlers and give them match time and see where they go on and how they go on. 2 games is a lot in a 5-game series, and yes, we can't be crying over spilled milk. Now we'll have to try and see what and how we can tweak our plans based on the number of games left for us. So this is the challenge, obviously, in sport. You've got to try and find a way around the hurdles you come across. And we are faced with those challenges. We are left with no other option but to find ways and means, get our thinking caps on, and see how best things can be worked out in the way that we wanted to do things. Why the interview was yesterday, so it's now. Secondly, I read about 4 columns on it, so I'm aware of it. So I hope who she's spoken to have read that piece as well. They need to continue carry on the momentum in the way they do things, in the way they approach every net session, in the way that their mindset is. They shouldn't be a case of relapsing into what they were doing in the past. They need to try and use the launching pad that is provided in terms of having a skill camp and the way they are doing things. That should have given a lot of confidence. The only thing is they have to continue stepping on the accelerator from now on. If they relapse in terms of mindset, or if they start having self-doubts, then it's going to be a difficult situation. It's one thing that the players need to understand, because you will have these challenges, and they have to ensure that whenever they go onto the field, they get their focus back, even if it's a case of going in and out of the field. But in situations like this, it's not the easiest, but still that is what it's all about. International cricket, there is no question of looking for things or looking for excuses. They have to cope up with that, whether they like or not. After all, what is the option left? They need to go out on the field and do it. See, generally I don't either endorse nor reject anybody's statements, views. Each one is entitled to his opinion. But at the same time, all of us have to understand everybody is trying to do something based on certain data and information that they have before they take a decision. Now, this is an extended monsoon. There's nothing anybody can do about it. I'm not a meteorologist, but I don't think, we've had rains leading up to the last week of September, early October possibly. That's not happened. Things have been delayed, so you can't really fault anybody in this because it's not being restricted to one particular part of India, which is what generally happens. In certain areas you'll have rains, in other parts of the country you'll not have. But across the country you see across different states, different formats are getting affected by rain. And day games as well as night games. So it's a tough one. There's nothing that you can do about it. You can't really try and find somebody to pin the blame on. Try and excel individually and collectively. The other thing is that they all stick together and try and help each other. That's what the culture is all about. That's what we're looking towards achieving as a unit, and that's going along fine lines. तो जितना टाइम मिल रहा है उसके हिसाब से कर ही रहे हैं. अभी मैचेस होने का चांसेस है कि नहीं भी पता नहीं अभी तक. आप देखें तो जैसा मौसम है अभी, प्रिपरेशन तो जैसा चल रहा था शुरू से वैसा ही चलेगा
सर. और जिस तरह का क्राउड है सूरत के,
और ये भी हम सोच रहे हैं कि उनके निराश भरी दिनें चल रही है, शाम चल रही है मैच ना होने की वजह से, उसके बारे में हम सोच रहे हैं. You don't really think that you will have rains somewhere and then prepare for that. And secondly, the other thing is that when you have a situation like this, it is something that nobody can predict, whether it's going to be a 20-over game or a 5-over game. So how do you create some situations that you can't read? So we'll have to take it as it comes along. And in any way, in a game of cricket, you can plan to the maximum. You can sit and plan, think, do whatever. But at the end of the day, at the end of it all, when you go out onto the field, things may pan out differently. The key is in seeing how the plot is unfolding and then adapting to that. That is what is going to decide between victory and defeat. Regardless of what happens leading up to it is different, but how you sort of read the plot unfolding is the most important thing. Crowds there, we are close to 14-15 grand there. That really got the girls excited, and it's all good for them to have an experience of that kind, playing under lights, having huge crowds turning out, and realizing how important it is. And it does also have an impact on the cricket when you have big crowds, because the noise factor is there. They need to be really a lot more focused, especially in tight situations, because one call not heard or one distraction here and there in a big crowd, it can make a huge difference. So along those lines, I think it will stand them in good stead. What's happening now and what happened in the month of May.